Hi. With Christmas just around the corner, there are so many things that can make us really get overwhelmed and stressed. I'm already feeling it. So, I'm going to be talking to you today about how to quiet your hearts this Christmas. So, if you've tried your best to slow down other years, this year is going to be the year that you can learn some tips on how to slow down, because it's just not possible, and your heart is racing from the time you get up and the time till the time you go to bed. And so you just think, this cannot be, I cannot probably possibly do this. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can at least calm yourself down a little bit, and I have some tips that I'm going to be sharing today in this video. My name is Judith Coles, and I'm from His Unmeasured Grace, where I blog and I do videos to share with you on different things having to do with women learning to live the grace-filled life. And I haven't always lived that kind of a life. I've lived the stress-filled life and the overwhelm and struggled and dealt with melancholy. And so that because of that, and because I've gotten somewhere with it, although this morning I felt kind of out of kilter, it's something that I feel I can share with you because I know the tips. I know the things that will help. Even when I have a day like today that has kind of tipped me over the edge a little bit, I know the things I can do now. So the first thing I want to share with you is from 1 Peter 3:3-4. And do not let your adornment be merely outward arranging of the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart, with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. So, as women, we like to get pretty and get ready for the occasion. I rebrushed my hair to come downstairs to do this for you. I put on some lip gloss, lipstick, whatever it's called, and I got myself ready and changed out of my sweatshirt because I had worked out earlier this morning, and just made myself presentable. So it's not that God is trying to say we can't make ourselves presentable, because on the other hand, to be dressed frumpy is just not a good idea. Mismatched, that can cause another kind of attention to be shown to us or attracted to us. But the thing in this verse that really is so important to me is that more important than the outward appearance, it's the inward, the hidden heart of you and me that we want to be working on. And that's the incorruptible beauty. That's the kind of beauty that God is looking for. And that's the kind of beauty that other people are attracted to. And when we get irritable and something upsets our cart, maybe we feel that someone is putting us down, or maybe we feel stressed by the situation. Maybe your kids are giving you a hard time today, and so you're feeling stressed because you are starting to feel that you have to get ready for Christmas, or that you have no money to get ready and do the things you need to do for Christmas. So all these things can be the things that can tip us over the edge, because it usually isn't the situation entirely on its own. There is something else as a woman that's in the back of our heads. So this verse doesn't say to not fix yourself up, but it warns about being so vain that all our efforts are merely outward. Have you ever met a woman or seen a woman, maybe a celebrity, that is so gorgeous, but her personality is so ugly that you kind of forget the beauty on her skin? And on the other side, the flip side, have you ever seen a woman who is really wrinkled and just the cares and the struggle and the things of life have affected her so deeply that it seems to be reflected on her face, but she's smiling through it all, and her beauty comes out because that's the inner beauty, and you think that she's beautiful, But if you really think about it, you realize she's not. It's who she is on the inside. So it's all about the heart, isn't it? And the real hidden you. Your heart can be filled with good things or it can be filled with bad things. And in Jeremiah 17 it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Or as the King James Version says, I think it says wicked. Who can understand it? So chaos and stress can happen when we get our focus off of Jesus during the holidays. And I'm saying holidays not because I like to call Christmas the holidays and not really refer to Christmas. It's because we're coming up on Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and all these things they're so close together. They're all within about a month. And there's a lot of serving we need to do as women, food preparation, and the struggle with preparing with sugar or not, and buying gifts for our children or grandchildren and so forth, so that it really can affect us. We can decorate and wrap each gift that we give perfectly and make 1,000 cookies like I used to do and give them away, and yet lose in one moment when one of our kids and their personality and their whatever it is that they're doing wrong collides with us. Yes, we used to make 1,000 cookies. We used to give most of them away to other people that we would bless, or to businesses or shut-ins, and we ate some too. We ate quite a few too. And that was something that I think our kids all enjoyed doing. As they got older, they got more involved in it. So that's a good idea to do, but it can create a lot of stress. So my journey to a quiet heart at Christmas. So I didn't just miraculously wake up one morning with a quiet heart. I think my heart, to be honest with you, always tends to be able to be in a flutter, and something can quickly trigger it. And so that's why this is so important with me to share with you, because I've been there. If I was perfect, I wouldn't have anything to share, or I could share it in a perfect way and it could sound really pat and just not resonate with you, because if you are like me, you are imperfect in some way. So like I said, I can get stressed, I can get tense, and when I was younger, it could be because of my cycle and the stages that my cycle was in that just helped to trigger that. It could be a disobedient child or a rambunctious kiddos. And so if you have kids or have grandkids, I'm still very active in my grandkids' lives, or in kids' lives with my grandkids. So I still understand. I haven't forgotten. So I have been scaling back on some of the things that I thought needed to be done at Christmas. There is a momentum that builds during Christmas, from even like at the filming of this, it's the beginning of November. So I can feel the momentum starting to build, the things I need to do and think of and start to organize. And I want to scale back. And this Christmas, I probably need to, because the funds are just not there. And you might be able to relate to that. And so the further into November you get, and once Thanksgiving hits, for some reason, it's like the momentum is released, and we need to start shopping for Christmas if we haven't already. And we need to start making the cookies, and we need to start doing the things, and we get stressed out. So how do you quiet your heart at Christmas? How do you do that? So, like I've been saying, the first thing to do is to avoid the time crunch. That's the first thing in establishing a quiet heart. And don't leave your decorating and your gift buying and gift wrapping and baking to the last 2 weeks. Just don't do that. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Because you would not end up with enough time. And you'll be wrapping presents Christmas Eve or something like that. Or you'll just be feeling that stress, and you'll start like getting irritable with everybody. So the time crunch will trigger stress and will leave you snipping at other people. And then you have to ask forgiveness, which isn't a bad thing, because that helps you to draw closer to Jesus, because you kind of can't ask forgiveness without also correcting your relationship with Jesus. And so hopefully you might fail, but hopefully it'll start to correct that deficiency in your personality, because God will work in your life. So here are some changes that I've been making in order to quiet my heart at Christmas. And these may work for you or they may not. So the first one is very, very, very important. And it's focusing on a verse or a short passage instead of a more intense, longer study. So you just take a couple verses or a little short passage. And with that, you may like to look at making a more meaningful Christmas, my journaling workbook that I have for Christmas. It's below in the description box. All right, so do not neglect your time with Jesus. That is the most important thing. And then when you're doing that, if you spend a little time doing some creative journaling art, it helps to calm you down. That's just what coloring, painting, or using stickers if you feel you don't have any artistic ability, it does for you. It's just really amazing. I can forget that I was short on time, and it just calms you. And then throughout the day, if you played relaxing Christmas music, that also helps. If you eliminate some of the traditions you have, take a good look at them and see which ones you should keep and which ones you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't be sending Christmas cards. For one, it's really expensive and takes a tremendous amount of time, and it does bless people, but many people aren't doing it anymore. The postage has just skyrocketed. So that's one thing. Maybe not using stockings in your house to put little gifts in. Whatever, it may not be that, but whatever it is for you and your family. Not going bankrupt by spending too much money. And so spend less. The economy is terrible, so take a look at what you have and spend within that, even if your gifts are smaller. The same things, if bought this year as you bought last year, would cost a tremendous amount more. So you have to take that into consideration. You might give gifts of your time and wrap them up in a present. You could do that. So, but don't neglect your time with Jesus. That is the most important thing that will calm your heart and quiet it down. And you'll quickly lose focus if you don't. So if you shop until you drop, either online or digitally with your fingers. Just don't break the bank. And that will in itself cause you to lose focus on Jesus so fast. And then it turns into stress and tension almost immediately after you've spent too much. With a little planning this Christmas, you'll be able to quiet your heart in the presence of Jesus by starting early. Even if you start like now, early November, or at least by Thanksgiving or just after. Some people have their Christmas trees up already. I've seen 2 people post pictures of their Christmas tree already up. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it even before Thanksgiving like a lot of people. That seems to be a trend. That might help. I'll do it the day after. That will be enough. But if you do things and do it in order, you won't end up feeling like you're having to do everything at once. That is what causes me to go into overwhelm really fast. If I feel like everything has to be done now because I procrastinated and now they all have to be done on the same day, the same time of the day, it can be stressful. And if you are quieter, calmer this Christmas, it will be a blessing to other people around you instead of stressing them out too and passing your stress on. And your spirit will rub off on them. And that will be the most amazing Christmas for you this year, won't it? So, did you find this helpful? And are you learning to quiet your heart with some tips that I've given? What tips do you have? And don't forget, check out the Making a More Meaningful Christmas workbook, the journaling workbook below. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.